This is absolutely amazing, guys. Replit just released maybe 2 or 3 days ago the Replit agents, which absolutely blew my mind because now you don't even need to really know any code, or you can know very basic code because it is nice to understand what is going on, but you can actually code full on apps with just natural language. So with the agents they have given us access to, you just tell the AI what you want, and it codes everything into Replit. Not only that, but then you can use Replit to deploy your app and use the servers to host it. So let me put my glasses on and I'm going to show you around. Okay, so this is basically what the interface looks like. And in this window here, we will be we will be talking to our AI and building our app. So they also have different templates that you can start with, or you can just copy and paste the prompt. So we have local landmarks map, stock analysis, waitlist website, link in bio, AI chat, book scanner, ray tracer, and statistical significance calculator. So these are uh, the only templates that they have right now, which is fine. But we can actually start doing something different. And let's say I am a travel agent and I want to create my own little search engine for things to do in different locations. So I can say create an app for travelers to search for things to do in a destination. And that's all I need to do, and then I'm just clicking on start building. Now you do need to have a paid account. I believe that you need to have a paid account in order to access in order to have an early access. So basically, if you have a paid account, you will see all that interface. And now it's thinking. As you can see, it says thinking here. I've only played with it like once just to see what's happening, so I'm not completely in the dark when I'm testing it. And the response right now is absolutely, let me propose what we will build for you. And it says, I've created a plan for a traveler's app to search for activities in destinations using Flask and vanilla JavaScript. The minimum viable product will include a search function, display of attractions, and responsive design. Let me know if you'd like to proceed with this plan or if you need any modifications. So if I like what I hear, I can say continue. I also have some other options that I can choose from, which is implement user account for saving favorite destinations and activities, add filters for activity types, price ranges, and user ratings, integrate a map to display attraction locations, and include user reviews. So just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm only going to click on the map. Like, it's nice to have a map. So I'm going to say approve plan and start. And you can always go back and add all the other extras to your app. But as you can see, it's just starting to code straight away. It's absolutely incredible. Imagine how long it will take you if you are a programmer, how long it will take you to actually write the code. It's just doing it for me in seconds. And in here, you can actually see what the progress is. It is creating the main Python folder, the static folder, some templates, and so forth. And now it's initializing the Flask framework, and you can actually see everything that is happening. It's resolving dependency and so forth. Sometimes it takes like a very, very short time, like only a couple of seconds. Sometimes it will take a little bit longer, but you can keep track of the progress on the right hand side here. Okay, and now it's starting to build my app. And the very first thing is it's asking me to test it. So it says, can you see the travel destination, Explorer web application? Is the search form visible and functional? So, and it's giving me, so I've tried it before, and specifically with the travel destinations, it's giving me the destinations to test because it has data for these destinations. So if you're creating this for a real application, you will probably link your backend to Google Places API, because Google Places API would have all the data about all the places in the world. But here we're working with just test data. So I'm going to put Paris and see if it's working. Okay, here you go. It's giving me quite a few options, and I will say, yes, I can see it, and it's functional. Here we go. Now it just read it. It's thinking again. So every time you return an answer, it will start thinking again, and it will start integrating more and more into your app. And as I said, sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it takes shorter. Now, looking at that, it's okay, but maybe I want to add an image, which I will ask to add an image in a moment after it finishes. But what's really cool is that you you are saving an incredible amount of time, or if you're not a coder, you can actually start building your own apps in less than 10 minutes. Okay, so now I actually have the map, which is super cool. So now, next time when I search, I will probably see all the pins on my map. And it says, is the map visible on the page? Right here. When searching for Paris, do markers appear on the map for the attraction? So let's try it again. I'm going to say Paris, and I'm going to do a little search, and voila, here it is. And I'm going to say yes. I can see the markers. And as you can see, guys, this is just like having a natural conversation with my app. And if I'm happy, I can go and deploy it. As you can see, it's ready for deployment. I can set up my deployment, and I can be ready in less than 10 minutes. But I can say, can you add the following image above the search bar, because I want it to look a little bit more aesthetic. And you can actually attach a file right here, and I'm going to attach a little file of a beautiful image, and whoops, sorry, and I am going to send that. Okay, now it's going to be thinking. We're still in our web view. As you can see up here, you can see your progress, you can see the web view, or I can start deploying it. But now, because I've given it another instruction, it will go and restructure my page. Now, at the moment, their interface is pretty basic. It doesn't have a lot to be desired, but once you deploy this app, you can actually put a different user interface using various tools. So this is not the problem. The biggest thing is that we can create these apps in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on how complicated it is. We can make them workable, and then we can think of what databases to add them to. I mean, what databases to connect them to, like in this case, Google Places API or something else, and then what to put on top of the app so it looks visually pleasing. Okay, it is still trying. It's taking a screenshot of my image, and uh, it should be actually this image should be, yep, in here. And let's see what's happening. There you go. It looks beautiful, even though it's very, very basic. I can still work with it. This is my minimum viable product, because this is the first thing. Do I have an app that is actually working? And I just want to see, yeah, it's absolutely ready. So if I go back to my web view, I can go and type Paris, because these are, as I said, the only options we have, like 2 or 3 cities. And I'm good to go. As you can see, it's very, very good. So I can add some other things. Let's try some other things. Can you add the uh, address of each attraction? And let's try that. And again, it will be thinking a little bit. And it says, I'll add the address information for each attraction. This will involve updating our backend data to include addresses and modifying the front end to display this information in the search results and map pop-ups. Because of course, if this is my real app, I do want to have some information of where it is, because yes, it looks really good here on the map with the little markers and pins, but it's so much better to be able to actually see where everything is. And it's still thinking and updating, so I usually wait until it's completely done and it says, hey, can you now check? So I don't so everything is done and I can have final results. Okay, so now it says search for Paris and check if the address information is displayed for each attraction. So let's try our Paris destination again and see what happens. Okay, so if I go, okay, so I've got an error, and I can say, I can just copy and paste that error and it will try to fix it. So the more complicated your app becomes, the more errors you might get. And sometimes you may have to just go into your code or fix it. Or if you're not a coder, if you don't understand your code, you can actually copy all that code, go to Claude, for example, and say, hey, here's my code, and this is the error I get when I test it. Can you fix it? And then Claude will try and fix that code, and then you can copy and paste it back into Replit and try it that way. So there's a lot of ways to fix your code and the errors, but the very first thing we are going to do is try and get the AI in Replit, fix it. So once again, we can look at Paris and do a search. And now we are going to see, here we go, it fixed its own error. And now I have the address of the of the attraction. So now I can go and ask something like, can you add a button for reviews? I can ask that, and then it will probably change the interface a little bit and will add the button to add some reviews. Something that I did when I first tested it, because I said I only tested it once. When I first tested it, I said, hey, can you add all these things? Like, remember in the very beginning, do we still have it? No, I can't see it here. But in the very beginning said, hey, do you want all these additional things that I can add to your app? And I said yes to everything, and it just kept going into a loop. It got into an error message and it was going into a loop and it wasn't fixing it. So I'm thinking, first make it work as a very, very simple app, and then, or agent as a very simple agent, and then start to slowly add various options to enhance the overall experience of this agent or the overall functionality and capabilities of your agent or app. So it's still thinking, it's starting to edit, it is restarting my Flask. And in a moment, it will probably ask us again to test it. But as you can see, you're just sitting and waiting for the Replit agent to actually do everything for you, which is great. I think that it's great. I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds for the AI to tell me that I can test it. And we'll see if there's a button to add reviews, which is super cool. And imagine if you are a travel agent, how easy it is to start creating your own little apps and agents. Okay, so it says, please search for Paris, confirm if the address information is visible for each destination in both results list and the map markers. Yes. Oh, and look at this. I can write a review. Let's see if it will actually write me. I'm just going to say it's it's awesome. And I'm going to submit my review. It says review submitted. I don't see my review, but let's say I can say yes, and the address is visible. And that's all I'm going to say. Now it added the button. I don't think, like, I thought that I might get a little bit ahead and write the review, but it is not really working. So let's try it again and see if there's a review. Okay, so I can say the review didn't show. But you can see our app is getting more and more complicated, which of course will create more errors eventually, and we will have to debug and fix those errors. And as I said, you can either do it in this environment, or you can go and read the code and see where the errors are and do it manually, or you can grab the code and go to Claude and see if Claude will be able to fix them for you. Okay. And just trying it one more time, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to stop it here, because we can continue having fun and playing with this new toy forever and a day. But I just wanted to show you how cool it is and how you can very fast build your agents and apps. So this is the last trial I'm going to make, and then we're going to finish this video. And the more I play with it, the more videos I will post, so you guys can see my own ways of creating these agents and apps, and what I do and how I troubleshoot them and what I do. Okay, it's still it says debug and fix the review functionality. It tells me when it started, and now it's saying, can you search for destination, Paris? Click on write a review button for any attraction, submit a review, and let me know if you receive a success message. Okay, I will just refresh it, and I'm going to type Paris. I'm going to do a search, and I'm just going to click on the first one. I'm going to say it's awesome, and I'm going to submit my review. It says submitted successfully, but I am still not seeing it. So I will refresh it. Okay, let's just try it very quickly. And if it doesn't show it to me, then I can continue troubleshoot. Okay, so as you can see, now I've got a little bit of a a bigger problem to solve, and I can do it in one of those 3 ways I mentioned a few times. So you see how awesome the Replit agents are, how quickly we can come up with minimum viable product and start working on it. And yes, there will be some errors, but this is still in beta and it's only like 3 days old. I can guarantee you in 3 to 6 months, we're going to have a lot less errors. Things are going to be much more streamlined, and everyone will be able to build their agents and apps.